Hello students, today we are starting with classification and evolution of chapter 7, that is diversity in living organism of class 9 standard. So what do you mean by evolution? Is the evolution necessary in our life? We know that somewhere dinosaurs existed on this planet, but how we come to know about it? We know about this by some discoveries, by fossil traces that were found. Even we know that before elephants there was something known as mammoth. And if mammoth were present, then why they are not existing in today's life, or are they existing in the form of some other creatures? Have they evolved in some species, in advanced species that we just like how we are born? We know clearly that Homo sapiens is derived from the ancestor called hominid. We were not directly born as a human being. We have derived our characteristics from the monkey. Like, for example, we still have hairs on our body. We still have our body is covered with skin, and we have nails as a protection, which even monkeys and we have common. Now, these are some evolutions that we have evolved upon years and years of ages. Now, what do you mean by evolution? See, most of the life forms that we see today have arisen by an accumulation of changes in our body design that allow the organism possessing them to survive better. For example, if I have to go and stay in Antarctica, first of all, I am a Goan, and if I am going there, then I have to prepare myself enough to survive in extreme cold climate. There will be some adaptation that my body will do. There will be some things that I have to try. We will try to learn better. For example, the eyes of a common human being and the eyes of the person, or ears of the person who are staying in cold regions, there will be certain difference between them. Why these differences are there? Why these differences are there, and is it necessary? Yes. Some organisms which have to stay in extreme cold region, they have hairs all over body. They will have ears little more erect kind of. They will have smaller eyes, especially the ones like Tibetan or Chinese kind of. Unlike us, which we can clearly see the difference in a normal human being or in India. But if you get Tibetan people, you can see their noses, we can see even the ears, the eyes. There are visual changes that you can see. Now, this is something called evolution. Certain species, certain organisms have to adapt depending upon the environmental conditions there. Now, since we have to classify, this classification is based on like primitive, and advanced. Primitive, you can say old. Advanced meaning modern. Modern as in today's life. Primitive you can consider as those species which are extinct or which were there earlier. Advanced can be the one which is like present in today's life. For example, dinosaurs, you will see that in movies some dinosaurs were flying. That time we didn't see parrots or crows there in those movies. We see dinosaurs were flying. If dinosaurs were made to fly, then there will be some adaptations that from dinosaurs the birds have evolved and even they have the wings. So we can consider that dinosaurs with wings were the primitive and the advanced can be the birds that we see today in today's life, in today's world. Okay. Now another thing, this primitive and advanced classification were based on how they evolved, whether they maintained the same function, performed the same, they had the same characteristics. Based on that, primitive organisms had simple body, they were ancient, and advanced is like complex body. Simple body as in they will not have much complex body function like us. Placed at first, they were like very simple to understand, and advanced is like this decent body design that we can see. Now this was the first classification that biologists have classified organisms into primitive and advanced. For the next class we are going to see about hierarchy of the classification. Before hierarchy, now are the organisms primitive, like which are the organisms those are primitive and how are they different from the so-called advanced organisms? This is there on this is the question that is asked in the textbook. Which organisms are called primitive and how they are different from so-called advanced organisms? Now see, an organism which is simple is called primitive. On the other hand, an organism with high level of division of labor by formation of organ system is called advanced. So primitive, to understand better, primitive are the simple body functions, body system, and the advanced are the formation of organ system and all those. Second question that is asked is, will advanced organisms be the same as complex organisms and why? Will the advanced organisms be the same as complex organisms? If yes, then how? Or like if yes, then why? See, complexity in body designs evolve because of necessity to adapt according to the changes of the environment. For example, the same which I have given, if we have to go and stay in an extreme cold region, we have to prepare our body for that. We cannot go without taking thermals. Same thing, we have to adapt, and hence the complex organisms will be an advanced one in comparison to a simple organisms. Okay. So if we have to be complex, first we have to be advanced, and if it is advanced, then it is derived from the simple organism.